Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 of this video lecture on chapter 6 on the sections on queries, both spatial and attribute. Now this little section will be discussing the spatial query, or also known as select by location, and you'll see that I have the data is presented in a different format here. I'm just looking specifically at the US, and I've brought in a roads layer, that's this maroon color, and my rivers, they're sort of a light blue. I'm not sure if it shows up on your screen, but the rivers are there. Let's make those a little bit bigger so you can see those. What I just did is I double clicked on that line there, brought up the symbol selector, and I changed the width from 1 to 2 points. So that should show up a little better. And it does. Okay, so what if I want to know all of the counties in the United States that have a river going through it? What if I want to know all of the counties in the United States that have a river going through it? So that deals with a spatial relationship. It's not going to work to say, give me all the rivers in California, give me all the rivers in Montana. That would be we'd be specifying a certain state. I want to know all the counties in the United States, or at least these 48 contiguous states, that have a river going through it. So let's go to selection, select by location. This is a spatial query. And I want to select my features from. I'm creating a subset of the data. So I want the counties. I'm trying to find the counties. What do I want to light up at the end of this? I want my counties to light up that have a river going through it. So that means this first part is going to be counties. And I want to know, what's the other one? Rivers. So which ones have the rivers going through? It calls it the source layer, but it's rivers. And here we've got all sorts of different sorts of spatial relationships. We've got within, completely within, identical, touch. So we could either do touch the boundary, or we can do intersect. I'm going to do intersect. And what if sometimes if you zoom all the way in, there's a little error in the data. It doesn't actually show it where it should be, and it might miss the border of a county. We could apply a search distance that tells you how much of a variance between the river and the county you'll allow. You know, if it's drawn a little bit farther out than and it should be in the county, you can do that. But we're not going to do that this one. We're just going to go with intersect the source layer feature and say OK. And so we wait a little while. And it does its thing. Now we can turn off these other layers and look only at the counties. And turn off those lakes. And we can see, I'm going to get rid of the roads too. We can see which counties have rivers going through them. I can right-click on counties here, bring up the table, and you'll see which ones of these are selected. If we only want to see the selected ones, we click there. It limits it to the selected ones. So 1,006 counties in the United States have the river going through it. There they are. All right, so that's how that works. We can also, I'm going to unselect that. Oops, fix that. What happened was when I unselected, since nothing was selected, nothing showed up in the table. So I had to click this right here to show all records. I keep telling you these little bitty things just to give you reminders. You know, when this happens to you, how can I bring that back up? Just remember that I did that. All right. So here's my counties. What if I want to know the counties that have any of these fairly major cities in them? That'll be a little bit different. So counties that have these cities, these somewhat major cities. Some of these cities that are on here I wouldn't necessarily call major, but they're major enough to make the map. So let's do that. So here's another example. We go to selection, select by location. I'm going to let you think about this. Select features from which, I'll let you think about this for a little bit, which one of these layers do we want to choose? I want to know which counties have one of these cities in it. So think about it. Will it be cities or counties? Think about it one more time, and if you thought counties, then you are correct. Our source layer is going to be the cities. And so in this case, you could use intersect, but select features from counties. We've got some other things to say. We can say completely contain the source layer feature, or we can say contain the source layer feature. The difference is if you say completely, that means everything has to be in that county. You can't have anything overlapping into another county. So if it's straddling a border, then go with contain the source layer feature. We're not going to apply search distance in this one. We'll say okay. And there they are. So there's a couple of ways you can do the search by location. Now, that essentially wraps up this the chapter. If you have questions, please send them to either text me and let me know you sent me an email. Send me an email. You can use the you can keep using for the online course. You can keep using the message boards, but I'm having some trouble with it on my end. I'm not getting the notification that there's anything in there, and that it should be doing that. So I have to go and hunt and peck and try to find it. So I am looking for some better ways to do that. All right. Don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I will put your assignments in Blackboard in an announcement so that you can find them. But your assignment is 6.1. GIS Spatial Analyst ArcGIS version. If you're on a Mac, you can download the QGIS. There is a section in there where, in the second edition, it's on page 177. You can download the QGIS version, but just be aware that when you start working in ArcMap later, that things are going to be different. Or if you keep working in the QGIS, I won't really be able to help you out with that one like I can with ArcMap. Okay, have a great day. Hope everything goes well for you, and the assignment will be coming.